Euro USD, welcome back. Let's go over what happened today as well as how I traded it, so all the setups that occurred, and then we'll go from there. Quick little zoom out to the 4 hour chart. As you can see, we're still bull flagging, consolidating in this general flag. I might have to adjust this a little bit after today's session and see what we're working with. It might be a little bit wider and bigger than originally expected, but as always, as we go into a range and consolidate between lows and highs, we have to be open-minded to any chart patterns that are developing. Bull flags are definitely one of the most common, if not the most common channels that I work with, both up and down slanting. But going back to today's action, let's get right into it. As usual, I set my charts around 5 o'clock when the market closes in the US for ES and whatnot, but I like to give it a little time beforehand so I can kind of update the charts. 6 o'clock is when the action typically picks up. We are live right now watching the charts. I'm seeing us flagging, but we'll get to that a little bit later. So when I sent the levels out yesterday, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Looking for a dip in recovery of this general area, so 796-ish to 794. I saw that we had dipped there once. I was looking for something like a nice dip in recovery that was clear and obvious before going long, if it was something I was interested in. The better setup would have been a failed breakdown of this low right here, which we got later on overnight, but we'll get to that in a second. So how would you approach this? We tagged it once here, and then we pushed off nice right here around, hold on one second, excuse me, around 8:45-ish. We pushed off for a nice 12 point, 11 point candle. If somebody missed that, that would have been fine. You don't want to chase. You want to come back, wait for price to give you an actual dip in recovery that we got at 10:15. So here we dipped below, came back, closed right above the level exact almost, and then started pushing off. You want to go long on these type of dip and reclaims about 2 or 3 points. Here we have this little baby low, so you can consider it a mini failed breakdown. This low was 795. So it's 797.6, about is 2.5 points. So I'm gonna just put like a trigger there. So you would have gone long right about there, and from 797, this made it up to 808 for almost 11 points. That would have been a great trade. Eventually that sold back down, and then that was that concluded that trade. Your stop loss would have been below this low right here. I think when you have a setup like this where you see an obvious low that you want price to flush, you could do two things. You can go a little bit higher. You can go regular full position, but you leave yourself open to getting this tested out and getting stopped out. What I would suggest is maybe going like a quarter position or even half position, and then kind of being open-minded to like this being a failed breakdown, seeing how price comes down and how it goes back up. So anyways, like I said, if I was to do this setup, it would have been a dip in recovery right here, a clear dip in recovery. Use this as a low as well for a failed breakdown. This low went from 795 up until 808, so like 13 points before it got lost right at 10:15. So that would have been a great low to use, honestly. Now I'm going to zoom into a 15-minute. Before I do that though, actually, I want to show you right here this great A+ quality failed breakdown that we got at 3:30 into 4 o'clock. As you can see, these levels touched exact, which is amazing to see. Tagged right there. You wait for this price to get undercut and then go back above. So I'm gonna go to a 15-minute chart so we can see clearly how to approach this. This low right here was 781.6, so about 3 points above that will be 784.6. You don't have to actually look. We have a minor level right above right here that kind of coincides with that exact amount that you're looking for. You have some great confluence here. We came down, sold exactly to this level, bounced a little bit, and then dipped perfect. You don't want to rush into any of these setups. You don't want to rush into failed breakdowns. You want to see price come down, go through a potential trigger, sell down, and then push through. This actually touched this minor level exact. Amazing confluence. If I was watching this, I'd be ready to load the boat, full position, ready to make a great trade and be done for the day early. So anyways, price came down, popped a little bit, tagged a potential trigger. This has already been mapped out for me. I would have already put like on this line, I would have put trigger. So I know this is the trigger for this failed breakdown. Honestly, if you didn't have this low, if this low was up here somewhere, like one of these two lows, and you wanted to go long, then you would have just done a regular level test, a back test, or just a dip in recovery, how we dipped into the zone and then recovered it. That would probably be like a little closer to the zone. So this is around 70, 780, 777. So like 782, I'd probably want to go long, like right around here. So I'd probably like wait for price to come down, push through, and then see what happens after the push through. If it keeps going, wait for it to come back down a little bit around here. If it pushes through and sells right back down, then go long on your trigger around 782, which you would have had right around here. And then that trade worked instantaneously. It was a great trade. It went from 782-ish, let's say, if you enter there, up to 794, 12 points. Probably would have taken some profits around here once you start seeing price kind of like chill out for a little bit. That's not a bad thing. That's usually just price consolidating for more upside typically. And then from there, you just keep going. Since I missed this trade, I woke up around 5:30. I saw that we had an active failed breakdown. That's a key word. Whenever you're looking for a trade, look for that failed breakdown. You missed a failed breakdown, don't chase it, but realize there is an active failed breakdown. Look at the quality of that failed breakdown. Here we had a great low that we clearly covered, and then be patient for the level up and see if you can reclaim that level where you push through the level and then consolidate above or below it and then start pushing back above at some point. I saw that. I was like, you know what? I really want to get into a trade. I didn't go full position. I went half position because entering around 800, my stop loss would have been all the way down here, 24 points. That's 23 points, pretty big stop loss. I like to keep it around 15 to 18 ideally. But because I had already missed the best setup, I still wanted to get involved. I saw that there was potential reclaim going on here. I was patient. I saw it push through, consolidate above, sell a little bit, and then start pushing up. As soon as I saw that, I went long around 798, 800 area, and then the rest is history. The trade worked out really well. Came up to about the second minor level here. I took some profit up there. It was about 8 points, my usual target. Didn't want to get greedy. Took a little bit more profit when we pushed through right here, and then we just consolidated and chilled. I had my runner just kind of keep going. Once we came down and sold back up, I figured we might be done for the day. So I closed the rest of my runner. And then I was anticipating a failed breakdown. I wanted to see if we could sell down this level, fail breakdown this low, and back test this upper level. And that's exactly what we got. I was patient with it. This low was at like 802. Since it's a more smaller failed breakdown of just like about 18 points, I was thinking like I go long about 2.5, 3 points as usual. So 802, I'm looking at like 804 and a half. Even 804 is fine. That was the initial amount that I was looking at, but I wasn't able to get it, so I just figured I'd be okay either way. And you can see here, price respected the minor level earlier, which is awesome to see. Almost tagged it nearly. Came back down, undercut it, pushed through, consolidated above a little bit. I got long around here, and then from 805 to 813, 8 points I got. Closed 80% of my position. Again, this was a half position trade. I didn't like the fact that we didn't get down all the way to this level, so I was a little nervous. I didn't want, if we did have gone to the full level here, like tagged it or dipped into it, I would have considered a bigger position. And then from there, I kept a runner, which eventually faded out and got stopped out below this low. So overall, an awesome day, 4 quality trades, a dip in recovery last night with a couple of lows to use, especially this one right here, specifically really to go long. Another one, 4, 5 actually. So you have one right there. Second trade would have been a direct level test of this major level right here. Third one would have been a failed breakdown of this low right here. Fourth one was a reclaim of this nice little consolidation. And then the fifth one was a failed breakdown right here. So awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm gonna look over the charts, set up some new levels for tonight, Tuesday, as well as Wednesday morning, the 26th, and get back to you guys as soon as possible.